Guys, I got this message from @TymonColdgrove9563 a week or so ago. Hey Doug, I'm new to IRs. Any chance of a beginner's guide for the Tone Master Pro? Obtaining, loading, and using. Thank you in anticipation, Tymon in the UK. Now Tymon, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right, but thank you for a most excellent suggestion. I really do appreciate it. Most guys making the switch from tube amps to the Tone Master Pro are probably not familiar with IRs, so a beginner's guide is probably a really good idea for this video. I guess we should start out with, what is an IR? IR stands for impulse response. There are all sorts of IRs, from reverbs to acoustic guitars to guitar amps, what have you. Now in this video we're going to be talking about guitar speaker cab IRs only. According to Andertons, an impulse response, or IR, is a sonic measurement of the sound of a speaker, room, or microphone in relation to the sound source. In guitar terms, this is usually your amp. After your guitar itself and the dialed-in tone of your amp, there's a lot more that can affect your sound. The speaker type, the space you're in, the microphone you're using, the microphone's preamp or position, the list goes on and on. The idea of an impulse response is to capture all of that information in one go, so you can instantly recall that setting. That means that wherever you are, you can retain your preferred tone, right down to the detail of your favorite mic placement and room sound. Impulse responses are usually saved as generic WAV files. Many companies, producers, and artists release their own impulse responses that allow you to accurately replicate their sounds. Once you've got your chosen IR file, you can load it into compatible hardware or software to reproduce your desired tone. Because impulse responses are becoming more and more commonly used, many manufacturers offer easy built-in ways to utilize them. Okay, so to boil that down to a very basic explanation, an IR is a very short recording of a speaker using a specific microphone in a unique placement. The cabs in the Tone Master Pro give you a good example of how IRs work. First of all, you choose your speaker. Let's just say I'll choose the 2x1265 twin creamback. Confirm it. Click on it. You see your speaker type. You can choose different microphones. You can choose whether axis is on or off. You can set your low cut filter. You can set your high cut filter. You move the mic around to different locations until you find the spot that works best for you. Now, even though you can't see behind the scenes, what you're doing is picking out the IR that you want to use. When you use a third-party IR, the speaker type, and mic placement have already been set up and are locked in place. You can't change the movement of the mic, for example. That's why many IR creators will provide well over 100 IRs in a given pack. York Audio is an excellent example. I have their MRSH M20 IR pack. Now, as you can see, the York Audio MRSH M20 is based on a 1976 Marshall 4x12 checkerboard cabinet loaded with UK-made Celestion Heritage G12 M20 speakers. Mics included in this cab pack: Shure SM57, Shure SM58, vintage Sennheiser MD421, modern Sennheiser MD421, Sennheiser E906, Shure SM7B, Shure SM58, Royer R121, Beyerdynamic M160, Shure KSM313, and an AKG C414. When you buy an IR pack from York Audio, they'll send you a download link for the pack that you bought. What you'll get is a deceptively small zip file. See, here's the York Audio MRSH M20 V101 zip. It's only 32.2 megabytes. When you unzip the file, you get folders for 44.1K, 48K, 96K, and then the Marsh M20 manual. If you click on any one of these folders, you'll get 3 more folders: mixes, MPT singles, and raw singles. You'll find 10 mix IRs, around 100 MPT single IRs, and again around 100 raw single IRs. So that's around 200 IRs in each folder, meaning you get around 600 IRs that you can use in this one pack. Now, at first you might think, wow, that's an amazing amount of IRs that I just bought. Then it starts to dawn on you that you now have 600 IRs to try out. And that's just from one pack. But come on, at $15, I mean, what a bargain, right? There are many IR vendors besides York Audio. There's Ownhammer, Miko Labs, Redwires, and even Celestion, amongst others. For freebies, you'll find guys like Jay Mitchell and Leon Todd posting them. And I'll put some links in the description. Now, if you want to use third-party IRs on the Tone Master Pro, you'll have to use the Pro Control app, and you should have your Tone Master Pro updated to the most recent firmware. Now, I can hear some of you guys grumbling, but think about it. How else are you going to load any third-party IRs onto your Tone Master Pro? You can only do that in the Pro Control app. So if you're not familiar with the app already, let's pull it up and have a look. Now, if you haven't already done this, I really strongly suggest that you do the firmware update. If you haven't done it, let's go over it real quickly. Like here it says, go to fender.com/tonemaster_pro to download and install the latest software. Connect the Tone Master Pro to a computer using the USB-C cable. Press and hold the rear panel firmware update button for 10 seconds while powering on the Tone Master Pro. Tone Master Pro will then display the USB firmware update mode screen. Go to your computer, drag and drop the firmware update file onto the Fender amp mounted drive that popped up on your screen. Tone Master Pro will display its applying update screen. Do not power off the unit until the update is complete. When the firmware update is completed, Tone Master Pro will display the update succeeded screen. Restart your Tone Master Pro and enjoy. Now that that's done, fire up the Pro Control app. If this is your first time, it will probably open up on preset 01, the 65 Deluxe Reverb. There are 7 icons over here on the left side of the screen. Click on the speaker icon at the bottom of the list. This brings you to the IR Manager panel. Right now your list of IRs is blank because you haven't imported any yet. Fender makes it very easy to import IRs. First off, if I remember correctly, you can use IRs with different sample rates. The Tone Master Pro will process them correctly. There are 2 ways to import IRs into your Tone Master Pro. There's a message on the bottom right of the screen that says, drag and drop impulse files here to import. This is the easiest way. I just open up a window where your IR files are. See, I have a folder here called IR files. And for this one, I'll drag JM Demo C onto the screen. Close this window. There it is. Also, you can use the plus button up here to the right of IR Manager. A directory window opens up where you can point to the location of your IR files. Click on the IR you want to import, then click on the blue Open. So now I have 2 IRs in my IR library. I don't know what the IR limit is on the Tone Master Pro, but I'm guessing that you can store hundreds, if not thousands of IRs on your Tone Master Pro. Okay, now you've loaded your Tone Master Pro with 1 or more IRs. Let's create a new preset so you can try them out. Click on the top icon on the left so that it says My Presets at the top of the list to the right of the icons. Use your mouse to cruise down through the list of presets, then click on an empty preset. Now pretty soon you should be seeing that the app pretty much copies the touchscreen. Click on one of the plus signs on either end of the signal path. The Add panel pops up. Click on Amp Heads. I'm choosing the British 800. Click on the blue Confirm. Now if you tried it out right now, you'll get sound, but it will not sound very good. You need a speaker cabinet or an IR to finish making your half stack. Click on the plus sign to the right of the amp head, and that brings up the Add panel again. Click on IR, which is the 6th option on the list on the left. Now, like I said, I have 2 IRs loaded. A free IR from Jay Mitchell and an IR that I bought from Ownhammer during a Black Friday sale. I'm going to try the Jay Mitchell IR first. Click on the blue Confirm. Now, this is where there's some controversy as to how the Tone Master Pro handles IRs. I doubt that it's something that most Tone Master Pro owners care about, But there are some guys that have asked why the Tone Master Pro doesn't have any speaker impedance curves to use with third-party IRs. Let's take a second to go over speaker impedance curves. In the most simple terms, a speaker impedance curve tells an amp what to expect from the speaker it's connected to. Out in the tube amp world, speaker manufacturers will include a graph that displays the speaker's impedance curve. You can look at that graph to see if that speaker has the characteristics you're looking for. The Tone Master Pro has one generic speaker impedance curve for third-party IRs, which might or might not be important to you. That's basically telling the Tone Master Pro that every third-party IR uses the same speaker impedance curve. For example, the built-in speaker impedance curve might be for a Fender 112-inch speaker. We don't know. So when you connect a third-party IR made from a 412-inch cab, you might or might not get the results that you're expecting. However, for this video, we're going to assume that you're okay with Fender's system. Third-party IRs all have their levels set at 50%, low-cut filters at 20 Hz, and the high-cut filters at 20 kHz. However, I've noticed that third-party IRs tend to be much louder than Fender's cabs, and some are louder than others. So keep that in mind when you load a third-party IR into one of your presets. Your preset might turn out to be much louder than you expect it to be. Be sure to test any presets that use an IR and make any necessary adjustments to get it balanced with your other presets. Now I'll save this preset, and then I'll do a demo for you where I try out both of the IRs and we can see which one sounds better or if either one of them sounds any good at all. So I want to show you the default settings here, just to let you know that I haven't touched anything. Preset volume is at 53%, amp level is at 54%, master is at around 6, gain is at around 7. And again, the IR is at 50%. This is what you get at default level. That's pretty hot. Let's see what happens with the other IR. I would say overall that sounds so much better. There's more even response, there's a better bass response. It just feels more like a real speaker cabinet. So I'm going to stick with that one. Now let me add a couple effects here and I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, as you can see I added the Nashville overdrive and I backed the drive back to 37%. I also added the stereo tape echo and the large plate reverb. This is what it sounds like. And you know, that sounds pretty darn good. You know, it's really easy to get wrapped up in IRs. The Tone Master Pro has 37 excellent cabs built in, but what if it doesn't have your favorite? Well, you find a pack with your favorite, and you have a lot of fun with that. And then you get another pack, and another pack, and another pack, and before you know it, you've got a couple thousand IRs to deal with. And you only might be using 3 or 4 of them. Now, how would I know this? Well, as you saw, I have a directory called IRs on my computer. I got a whole bunch of IRs when I was doing videos on the Fractal gear. Now, this was long before I got the Tone Master Pro. Now, I probably won't use those IRs very often anymore because I think Fender did a really good job with their cabinet management system. Remember, with a third-party IR, everything is baked in. Speaker type, mic type, placement of mic, cabinet, you can't change that at all. But IRs do give you extra options just in case you need them. And I'll have to admit that Ownhammer IR really does sound good in that one preset that I came up with. So go ahead, give an IR2 a try. Let me know how it works out for you. I'm curious. Now, if you're still here with me, thank you so much for stopping by and sticking around. I really do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions, drop them by here. I love it, and I get to them as soon as I possibly can. Now, I'll be having all new content this Friday. You don't want to miss that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, have a great week. I'll be talking with you again on Friday.